Well, this is not the breaking news that I wanted to bring you guys. Apparently, Rome Odunze suffered a knee injury against the Tennessee Titans, and per Matt Eberflus will be undergoing an MRI. We're going to talk about it all and more, break it down. But first, we got to play that intro.
Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. If you guys can't tell, I am not in a good mood at all. This just came down from Matt Eberflus in a press conference, and it's funny because I got the notification of the press conference, and I looked at it and was like, I'm not going to be too worried about it. It's probably going to be nothing crazy, just a normal post-practice press conference. But no, apparently Rome Odunze suffered a knee injury in the game against the Titans, and he will be undergoing an MRI soon. This sucks, fellas. How you guys feeling about it, man?
This shit don't make no sense, bro. But it is the start of the season, so hopefully it's nothing long term. Hopefully there's no damage at all, and maybe we miss him for a game or two, if anything. But it's not good news that we want to hear today.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I wasn't expecting to hear no news from me because, like you said, we didn't see really anything. We didn't know he left the game with a knee injury. So, but yeah, I'm pretty much just hoping for the best that everything comes back negative. It's just a little bruise or it's just a little tweak. Hopefully that's all it is. But hopefully it nothing serious. It's kind of hard to get a hard read on how bad it is. The situation is from him. So hopefully it's not bad, and yeah, hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I was expecting to hear maybe something about Keenan Allen, not Rome Odunze, because they didn't even make a big deal about him going down in the game at all. Kev, how you feeling about hearing this news, brother?
I don't like it at all. This is it's frustrating. Like you're on a Monday morning high of the victory, no matter how ugly it was, and you're looking forward to seeing how this team can put it together offensively going forward, and you just lost a major piece. And it makes you wonder what's going to happen. I think Johnson is still on the practice squad, if I'm not mistaken. The
Oh,
young
yes,
man,
he still is on the practice squad. Yeah.
so like they're gonna either have to bring up one of these practice squad guys or look and see if any free agents are still out there. But I don't like it, man. I know that Caleb has a strong relationship with Rome, and he was going to be one of his safety valves. I know that Keenan Allen is already banged up. I do like it for DJ Moore. Like DJ Moore is going to definitely see his targets uptick, and maybe we can like it for Cole Kmet because we didn't see nothing but one target for him yesterday as well. So it could be good and bad, but for Rome, it just sucks. And I hope it's not anything major. Hopefully, no surgeries needed. It's just a little bit of rest, couple of weeks out, and then back to business.
Yeah, I mean that would be the best case scenario is that they look at it, the MRIs come back negative. Maybe it's a knee bruise or something internally like that, where it can cause some discomfort. He can get back out there relatively quick. And I mean, in seeing this, like you said, it's hard to get a feel for how severe the injury is from like Matt Eberflus even talking about it. But this is not the start. I get it, we got to win, but this is not the way to start off the season, man.
Absolutely not. But I will say Tyler Scott didn't get a run in the last
He was
game.
out last
So
game. Yeah.
hopefully this means that, you know what I'm saying, if there is time missed or a couple weeks, or if we just gonna take it day by day, he gets his fair share of opportunities too. And Kev, you alluded to it. I think the offense has a lot of work to do early on before I go back and watch the game over again. Because it was a lot of questionable things going on when we talk about everything in its totality. And to see or want the Chicago Bears to go into week 2 and have a fair shot versus the Houston Texans, but also improve. If you're missing one of those pieces, that could kind of change up things a little bit. It doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. This is the NFL. You gotta always adjust to different things because it's a long season. But it is unfortunate just after one game, you know what I'm saying, you hearing these type of news. So hopefully the news at the end of it come out and just say, hey, he just gonna be day to day with it.
Baki said he sent you the play that he got
Yeah,
the if we can
I'm
pull it
looking
up.
at it. I'm looking at it now. So it was the play where they ran that screen with
Which
Bayless.
Well, hold on, I can pull it up. Which page did he tag me on? I think you tag us on Bear Central or
Twitter.
my personal. Well, we know Twitter. But
Yo, CEO Haize.
All right, hold on. I'll find it. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, it's a bang bang. It looked like he ran right into the back of his knee. So it ain't look too good.
Oh, fuck, man. This is not what we needed at this time. But hold on. I'll bring the play up so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
A wide receiver is the longest Bears offensive play of the day with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Now Velus Jones hangs on to that one and picks up good yardage to set up second and short.
So on the block right there?
Yeah, Velus basically ran. And another Velus. Fuck Velus Jones, bro. Fuck Velus Jones, bro.
What we doing?
Fuck Velus Jones, bro. Get this motherfucker off my team, bro. Like, it's not his fault. Don't get me wrong. In reality, it's not Velus, but just Velus is just involved in too much bullshit at this point in time. Like, you just
in just
bro,
one game. In
just one game, bro.
Everything you touch turns to shit. Like what? Everything. What? Like you touched the ferret, it died. Like what the fuck going on? Like you just add things.
That's the opposite of the Midas touch. That's messed up.
That's crazy, bro. Like I laugh to keep from crying, but yeah, man, this sucks. And that I had optimism at first, but now seeing that the way that his leg bent back like that. And especially when you get hit from the back of your knee, you're not meant to withstand a lot of pressure from the back of your knee. Prayers up. Let's just hope for the worst. Is all I'll say. Let's hope for the worst, man. But Velus Jones, get this motherfucker the fuck up out of here, bro. Just get him going, bro. Like
that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, especially because his one reception came off something that wasn't even supposed to happen.
Right, and that honestly, that reception was part of the turning point because it led to 3. It was supposed to lead to a touchdown, but Allen dropped it. It led to 3, and that was the beginning of the Chicago Bears running off 24 unanswered points. It sucks for the young man because we watched him on Hard Knocks. We know how much he loves the game. We know how much he prepared for it to be an NFL receiver, and to kind of find himself in a situation like this, it sucks. But again, this is something that you would prefer to happen at the beginning of the season than toward the middle or the end of the season, and earlier in his career than toward the latter parts of his career. So for him as a young man, his bounce back should be pretty good.
And that's a great point. Is that if it is something severe at this point in his career is where you want that to happen at. Let's just if it's going to happen at all, because he can make a full recovery from it. But it still sucks, man. It still sucks because we're already going into a season where we did our best to put so many weapons around Caleb Williams. Keenan Allen's already down. We don't know how severe and how long he's going to be out. Now Rome Odunze, Coleman Shelton, who looked initially pretty good at the starting center, looks like trash all of a sudden. Like the Roshan's still out. Like it's starting to stack. Little shit starting to stack up so far, and that's how you derail the season when it keeps being one thing after another.
That's a fact, because I was like, why are we rotating our right guard out? I didn't even notice it because I was so focused on other aspects of the game. But once it came out, I believe we talked about it on post game for them rotating them out. That was just, not the best start for the Chicago Bears. Not the best start right now.
Right, because it's compounding, right? Because at least we had hope that the offense could bounce back, that Shane Waldron would figure some things out. And they still can. Like, this isn't all doom and gloom. But the reality is, it just puts a damper on the positive vibes that we could at least glean from yesterday, because it wasn't too much positive that happened yesterday. And now the defense is going to have to really carry us even more than I thought we would have. Unless, like I said, unless the Johnson can step in, unless Tyler Scott can step in, and we can have that third wide receiver. But man, the offensive line need work, y'all. Like, I thought they would be a little bit better than yesterday, man. They need work.
I seen motherfucker Coleman Shelton put his best Mustafa act out there.
Bruh, as bad as Mustafa has ever been, I have never seen Mustafa triple team a motherfucker.
Exactly, like Reggie.
It did. I have never seen. And then I've never seen Mustafa get put on his ass by a linebacker. Not a D-line, a linebacker.
Several times.
Put Ryan Bates, soon as that nigga healthy, put him back in center like you decided to be.
Coleman Shelton is so far, and this again could change. So far, he's that kid that has great practices, but every time the game's on the line, you just look at him, you like, nigga, you was hitting home runs in practice. Why can't you hit nothing to save your life right now? Sorry, I'm projecting some of my middle school baseball team on us right now, but like it happens, bro. Like
I've never seen a center get put on his ass the way I seen that man get put on his ass.
You know how many times we saw him yesterday just trying to scratch and claw to get back to the person he's supposed to block from the ground.
Bitch, like that's what that was Coleman Shelton's game yesterday.
I mean, to be fair, we did say it wasn't gonna look pretty for the offense. We didn't know it was gonna look that bad, right. But we did anticipate some type of struggle with them, and it just seemed like we understood that the offensive line they have to go into certain situations with the rhythm. We thought that the rhythm was there because Haize definitely shouted out Nate Davis for having 5 weeks of practicing and no BS.
Yep.
And that shit was that shit was weird.
It all didn't matter. Like none of I don't know what to
rotations was stupid. Like I'm gonna say this. I don't want to ever see Every get more snaps than Cole Kmet ever fucking again.
Well, I think they were trying to compensate for how big the Tennessee Titans defensive line. I know where you're coming from.
I mean, but that's why you would go with Cole Kmet.
That's the whole point. Quick pass. Stop trying to do these low developing ass passes.
Shane Waldron really disappointed me yesterday. He was my
that game plan was bullshit. That game plan was pure bullshit.
In pregame, we talked about what we were excited to see the most, and I was excited to see what Shane Waldron could do because we haven't had a good offensive coordinator like almost ever for the Chicago Bears. And it's looking like more of the same. At least after one game, I'm not going to jump off the bridge. It's going to take a few more games to see if he can game plan the Bears into being a respectable offense. But I don't want to see a team where we just come in expecting the defense to carry us for an entire season again. It's just not something that I want to see, bro. We didn't see any type of cross patterns. We only saw like 1 or 2 slants. We saw more screens than necessary. It's like, are you trying to handcuff Caleb Williams? Now, a few times that they did try to do something up the sidelines, Caleb Williams overthrew the receivers. So maybe they went away from more exotic packages because it could have been overwhelming for Caleb. I don't know what it is. We haven't heard from the coaching staff yet, but I don't like what I saw from Shane Waldron yesterday at all.
I mean, and we also got to look at too, like how bad things were. Like that was a historically, it's the first time the Bears won a game with less than 150 yards total offense since 2006. In that game, keep in mind, we lost Keenan Allen. Apparently, Rome Odunze went down. We didn't even know it. Nate Davis got benched during the game. Like
Vegas got benched.
Velas got benched during the game, which is weird because he's already coming off the bench. Like it's just like
can we say he got benched because the motherfucker in crunch time got the ball passed to his punk ass. We were still giving the nigga
apparently it's because of how many people were hurt, because the damn play that Rome got hurt on, that was the running play, right? So the pass play happened later. So at that point, you just go into who you can go to.
Now, I will say this. I'm reading some of the comments, and you guys are right. I'm not putting all the blame on Shane Waldron, but let's not act as though it was 2nd and 3 and he went for a screen bubble screen.
And every fucking 3rd and 3 was for an empty set.
Right, and you had too many empty sets. Like, we're not going to absolve Shane Waldron just because the offensive line was trash and Caleb Williams was overthrowing people.
First of all, Don, the play calling was absolutely horrible. If you're going to call somebody ignorant, know what the fuck you talking about. First of all, we people who break down the game every single fucking day. The play calling was bad. If you don't think the play calling is bad, you're a fucking idiot, or you got too caught up in how bad Luke Getsy's play calling was. But as a competent one play to set up the next, how many times we were on 2nd and short and we ended up going with the pass play instead of a run play, and how many times we should have gone run, we went pass, and then it was the most obvious passing plays ever. That's why they were able to get so much pressure on Caleb Williams. See, you're stupid. And that's okay. Most sports fans are fucking casuals. It's okay. But you're gonna come in here and call us ignorant? Watch your fucking words, my boy. Because all three of these people on this panel right here put in more work watching and understanding the game of football than you ever will. And you will never come in here and disrespect this panel. Watch your ass on that. Because this ain't fucking ESPN like I've been telling y'all for 3 fucking years. You come in, you can disagree, but don't ever get fucking disrespectful because I guarantee you that will be the end of your shit. Watch your ass, my boy.
I'm trying to figure out how it was bad that Khalil Herbert got the ball twice.
Right. We abandoned the run.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Exactly.
The
You
very
see how
first
many
play,
total rushing attempts that we had? It was like
exactly.
22.
The very first play was a rushing play in which the Bears picked
22.
up 7 yards, and then the next play was an empty set. It didn't make sense. Or the next play was a pass play. It didn't make sense. And then on third 3, you didn't run it again. It didn't make sense. Is all we're saying. Like, everybody has to take responsibility. We're not just gonna ignore Shane Waldron's role in it. It's just the reality of it.
Hey, Don, one thing I can tell you right now, ain't nothing different behind or in front of the screen. Ask people who have pulled up on me. I would change your fucking life. How about that? I can DM you the address right now. I guarantee you. This ain't no internet shit. I would change your goddamn life. Your mama won't recognize you. I can promise you that. Shut the fuck up.
Don, is a reason why niggas ain't listening to you, and it's 300 niggas in here.
Exactly. So, and see, and the thing in Don's lack of understanding and his remedial thinking, he's saying that the play didn't work because it's a difference between it being a good play call and the play call not working. Guess what? A bad play call can still not work. A good play call can still not work. But you have to understand what the play was. The offensive line working or not is independent of that. Even if the offensive line was working, maybe it could have made some bad play calls look good. You're trying to look at results based. You're saying because of the result that happened and it was the offensive line broke down, that clearly meant that it wasn't a bad play. No, you're fucking stupid. You got to understand how to break down the game of football outside of you're zeroing in on one thing and letting that one thing inform your opinion because you're a fucking remedial bastard. We, on the other hand, are looking at the totality of the game of football. Watch yourself.
It's simple. It's so simple. It broke. He said it broke down. Yeah, it broke down because we was in empty set, you dumb motherfucker. And we went against one of the best D linemen in the NFL. So guess what? They blew. Guess what they realized through the totality of this whole game? The interior guards suck.
Yep.
Guess what's their best part of their interior of their D line?
They attacked the A gaps all game.
Fucking Sweat and Simmons. Guess what they are? D tackle and D interior. And all they did was murk us on every time. That's why it didn't work.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we're doing is just pointing out those things. It's not trying to make it seem like Shane Waldron was the only one at fault because, again, Caleb Williams, he's a rookie, but he was at fault. He looked nervous. Mr. I don't get nervous looked nervous. That's just the reality of it. And it's not going to be all season. Now, with Rome being out, it's going to make it that much more difficult for the offense to find cohesion. We don't know what the end of the results will be. The MRI, hopefully, is nothing major. But calling us ignorant is just, that's ignorant. Like, it's ironic that you used ignorance to try to point out ignorance because you're not calling the plays.
And hold on, Coach King, first of all, if you don't feel it, then don't be here. That's first of all. Secondly, we gonna do what we do here. If you're new here, that's on you. But make sure you check yourself as well. Talking about calm down. No, this is just Chicago. Like, listen, literally, if you talk stupid here, you get talked to stupid back. Period. Come in here respectful. You can disagree, but be respectful.
No more.
Right.
No, but the thing is, and it's another people don't get nobody who has another grown ass man as their Avi try to talk about calming down. Have more respect for yourself as a man. How about you do that?
We already told y'all for future reference. Don't tell us what to say, what to do, how to do it. Because just like how we did it, you can create your own shit and go run it how you want to run.
Why do you all think they kind of went away from the run yesterday? One and two, why didn't Khalil Herbert?
Because it wasn't the game plan. It's that simple. Well, that was not the game plan.
Here's the thing, though. I also think the interior, like they wanted to run up the middle. If you look at it, when they did go to the outside, they had some success. And I think that the Tennessee Titans defensive line just forced them to try to be one-dimensional personally. But go ahead, Bobby. What were you about to say?
Oh, I was going to say, honestly, I don't know. Because I watched Shane Waldron before he came to Chicago, and I seen plenty of games to where they were down. And even though they were down, he still put Geno under center and ran the damn ball. I seen that. So I was just in 22 rushing attempts in Caleb's first game, and I believe in those first 2 drives, it was evident that he had those jitters. You know what I'm saying? To where the accuracy wasn't there. He was hitting shit. We like, bro, that's why you throw that in the dirt. He was good if you hit him right in the numbers and things like that and overthrowing players. So I felt like I said, going into the game, I wanted Shane Waldron to get his quarterback comfortable. And then you take those shots down the field to try to get, you know what I'm saying? And then you allow him to get out on the run and do other things. But there was some opportunities where you could have came right out of the bootleg. You hit your tight end or DJ Moore on across the route in the flats. Them quick, easy 3, 4, 5 yards pickups. Those get Caleb going. Hey, let's get back to the line. We seen in the second half of the game when they kind of picked up the tempo. He performed or looked at least a little bit more comfortable. So they'll figure it out though. But Kev, to one of your points, I think that if you add Tyler Scott in there, we seen Caleb Williams has some type of chemistry with him, or at least we heard about it early on in training camp. Kind of faded away a little bit in training camp. But I think Tyler Scott, if there is some time missed by Rome Odunze, should be able to fill the void just well, especially if you still got your 1 and 2 out there.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it wasn't the game plan, because if you pay attention to anybody that runs the ball, it's all about attitude and want to, and it's a consistent thing over the game, especially if it's working. There's very rarely that's the game plan, you go away from it. So to Kev's point, you don't start the game off with positive runs by Swift, and then you take the ball out of this game.
Yeah.
There was too many times where we ran the ball one time and then we tried to bootleg off of it. You can't. That's not a setup. You have to set the plays up. He was doing that way a few times where the first play was a run play to a certain direction. Then the second down, it was like second and manageable, second 4, second and 5. We ran the inside zone. That put us either in first down or third and manageable. What he do after that? He get on the center. That gives the defense the idea that we're going to run. Then he bootlegged off of it. They bid on it. Now you could throw it over their head. Instead of that, it's like he tried to establish the pass way too much more than to write the right story, set them up so you can set them up for that pass at the right time. Because he could have did it. Maybe it wouldn't have worked in the first half, because you set them up in the first half. That's second time in the second half, you could have been thrown over their head all day. But you didn't do what you had to do in the first half to set it up.
As far as Caleb being under center, he played in the shotgun a lot throughout his career, college career.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that they're still trying to keep him comfortable with what he's used to with being in a shotgun as opposed to under center? Or should they just scrap all of that and get him prepared to play NFL pro style offenses?
Don't tell me.
Real quick, because this is kind of why I was higher on Marquise Daniels coming out of LSU. Is this his name? What's his name out of
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels out of LSU, because he was more pro ready. Do we think that Caleb Williams needs to be more under center regardless of what he's comfortable with?
I think long term you need you need your quarterback to be under center. And I think especially when you look at taking advantage of the weapons that we have, like we got away with it some, but we didn't win a lot of games with Justin because of Justin's ability to run and how much of our running offense he was a part of. But to me, you got to have him under center more. Like we saw more Wildcat than we saw Caleb under center yesterday, and that's just not going to work long.
You came in the preseason under center. You came into training camp, mini camp, saying that we're going to work on him being under center. Yeah. So I don't understand where they went wrong at, or saying that, not towards you, Kev, but I don't understand why wouldn't you go at least mix it in, not go the entire game in empty set.
That's what it is. Like to Kev's point, they tried to make it more USC than the league. And the thing is, you can still run the league because that's why you got Sweat. That's why you got Khalil Herbert. You didn't fucking use Khalil Herbert.
Yeah.
Like there's some things that you can take the pressure, because the best friend of a quarterback is a fucking running back in the defense. You got it.
And your tight end.
And your tight ends.
And you got two of them. You got two of them. That's why we thought we would see so many two tight end sets, because like we have the personnel to do it. And yes, it was one game. We're not trying to overstate. Like, yes, it was one game, and it could very well change from one game to the next. We'll see how things start developing as far as trends over a few games. But like, it just little things like that we saw. We got to start getting together, man.
Yeah, and the last point that I wanted to make is that this offensive line has shown that they are more physical when you say, let's get down here, let's go pick up some yards.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, if you go into Sunday night thinking that you finna back off, you're gonna get whooped.
Yeah.
They're gonna whoop our ass if you run from the fight. You gotta take the fight to these teams. You was able to get a win, and we happy about the win. But now it's about next week, and I hope they looking at all this, which they will. But the game plan got to be better.
That's a fact. Any last thoughts, fellas, before we get up out of here, man?
That's funny. Y'all got Nate Davis bitch. Y'all did it. Y'all did it y'all damn self. Y'all know this nigga can't pass protect. So why the fuck did y'all do that to him?
Because that's the strength of the offensive line is run blocking. That's really the strength of the offensive line. Even
he can run block his ass off.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And last season, we saw the other quarterback be able to scramble away from some of the circumstances that occurred yesterday. And that's just not what it is. We got a pocket passer now. We got to figure these things out and get it fixed real quick because the W, it just feels kind of empty to be 100, especially now with this Rome Odunze news of him being injured. And hopefully this is not major, but it takes away the steam and it takes away the positivity of it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, y'all make sure y'all stay in tune with this, man. As y'all can see, when news drops, we drop, man. Y'all can follow us at Chi Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, number to do so, 773-242-9336.